friends, how's it going? Ash here, welcome back to Extra Gents Scents. Hope that you're doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new fragrance release from Fragrance World called Just Azraq. And I have to say, the first time I saw this, I thought to myself, man, it looks strangely familiar. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Think.
Let me show you the bottle. That way you can see what I'm talking about. Maybe it'll kickstart something in your own mind and you'll recognize this and know what I'm talking about. There it is. Look at that. Huh. Yeah, that's right. It looks kind of a little bit like this. Maybe just
I don't know which one to shoot.
Nah, I don't think that's it. So yeah, new Fragrance World, and in a somewhat familiar presentation style. So this is part of a new line that Fragrance World has launched. Looks like they've got 4 of them right now, different colors, each one of these. So obviously this one is blue. They also have a black one, which again, a little familiar to another presentation out there. And then they have a pink one and a red one. So maybe we'll talk about those in a future video, but for now we're gonna talk about this one. So as I said, name of this one is Just Azraq. So each one of these fragrances, different color scheme, and each one says Just, and then in Arabic they have a different name there. So it could be a little bit confusing for some people, I guess, until they learn the different names of each one of these. Because it's not Just Azraq blue and then Just Azraq red and pink. They all have different names. So this is, as I said, a new one that has come out. It started to pop up at a number of the different discounters or different websites that focus really on Middle Eastern fragrances. I'll have it linked in the description below. Feel free to check it out down there. Let's go ahead and start things off by taking a look at the presentation here. Again, somewhat familiar.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here.
So here we have the box. You have there on the front the name of the fragrance and the concentration. Eau de Parfum is the concentration. Up top, you have the Fragrance World logo. On one side, you have a QR code. On the other side, your sticker of authenticity. On the back, your ingredient information as well as your size of the bottle, 100 mils. On the bottom, your batch code and your barcode. My bottle made February 2024. It's new. And here we have the bottle up close and personal. You've got the name of the fragrance there on the front, sticker on the bottom. You have a Fragrance World logo on top of your cap. The cap does click into place. Let's see if you can safely pick this up by the cap if you pick it up with way more intensity than you ever should.
Careful. Careful.
All right, ready? Yes, it's safe. Solid. Let's go ahead and share a couple sprays here. A little FW Fragrance World on top of the atomizer there. Here we go. Solid atomizer, gets the job done. So, Fragrance World Just Azraq. What is this a clone of? Is it a clone? Actually, when I first had looked this one up, it said there that it was a creation, which would be a fragrance that is not a clone, but is basically something that they've done independently of their cloning fragrances stuff. That was a great description there. Basically, you have clone fragrance houses that will sometimes do fragrances that aren't direct clones. Sometimes there's something completely unique, just doing their own thing. Other times it's like a combination of a few different fragrances put together and they'll call it a creation. This one is not that though. No, this to me is just a straight up one-to-one clone, and actually a really stupid good one, which makes me question, like, why even call it a creation? It's just a really good clone fragrance. Own it at this point, right? So how does this one smell? Well, it has started to pop up, as I said, at a number of different stores. The Oud store has it, for example, at $45, but again, you may be able to find it for less at different stores depending on where you look. And interestingly enough, at the Oud store, as of when I'm shooting this video, could totally change as time goes on. They have that this is a more potent version of Assad Zanzibar, which is yeah, I don't think I have to say too much, But that's what they have it listed as. It's very simple what they have. They don't really have a note breakdown or anything. It just legitimately has the name of this fragrance, dash, Assad Zanzibar. You scroll down and it says, more potent than Assad Zanzibar. So is what we have here with Fragrance World just Azraq, that, just Lattafa Assad Zanzibar on steroids. Lattafa Assad Zanzibar, to me, is in the vein of like a Le Beau Le Parfum. If you just want to keep it very simplistic, you could say that it's done with a twist, you know, some differences and things like that. But by and large, that's what it reminds me of. Let me spray it out really quickly here just to make sure that I haven't lost my mind and make sure that's still what it reminds me of. Ah, yes. In that vein, in that style. I've actually done a review of this fragrance for the main channel. I don't know if this video will come out first or if that one will come out first, but it's coming out if it's not out already. So yes, this is kind of in that style. Now, of course, Le Beau Le Parfum can remind people of a lot of other fragrances as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what this is. So, is this just Le Beau Le Parfum-ish on steroids, since that's what this is listed as? No, no, it is not. To me, this is something where maybe somebody jumped the gun, I feel like. They took a look at the presentation here and they went, huh, pretty sure I know what that's gonna be. Just put it on the website. But no, this is not just a more potent version of Assad Zanzibar. In fact, this really, to me, is extremely obvious immediately when you spray it on what it's a clone of. And it's something that I just instantaneously was like, oh, I know what that is, because it's a fragrance I love that I've worn a bunch since it's come out. This is a clone of Invictus Victory Elixir. Some people are gonna say, well, you know, Le Beau Le Parfum and Invictus Victory Elixir have some similarities to them. So maybe it actually is this. No, you spray these on side by side, they're different. You can tell which one is which pretty easily. So when you spray this, very, very, very similar to Invictus Victory Elixir. And in fact, the note breakdown from Fragrance World for this fragrance is the same note breakdown as Invictus Victory Elixir. I'm looking it up online right now. Black pepper, lavender, cardamom, incense, patchouli, vanilla, and tonka. That's the note breakdown for this one. And if we go to Fragrantica and look up the note breakdown for Victory Elixir, it is this: lavender, cardamom, pepper, incense, patchouli, vanilla, tonka. Like I said, when I first got this in, I did not know it was this. I was thinking something more like this over here for obvious reasons, the look and what it says online. But then as soon as I sprayed it on, like I said, immediately, instantly I knew it was Victory Elixir. It hits you the exact same way. You get that nice, bubbly, almost sweetness off the top, that effervescent, almost carbonated kind of sweetness with the vanilla, the spices, the way they hit your nose. Extremely appealing to me personally. It smells fantastic. The performance initially very good off the top, whereas this is gonna give you more coconutty, again, kind of like a Le Beau-ish type style of fragrance. So don't get it confused, these are not the same. This is not a stronger iteration of this. They are their own things, separate from one another, even though they look pretty similar. So yeah, as I said, this off the top smells fantastic. If you like Invictus Victory Elixir, you will like this, guaranteed, because it's pretty much the same thing. The quality here is great. Through the mid, it still smells extremely close to Invictus Victory Elixir. I would say that this one, the Fragrance World, has almost like a slight leathery undertone to it. Not an aggressive leather, not a dirty leather, but it has a little bit of a leather undertone to it. So that is one difference through the mid here versus here, but you still have that vanilla, you still have that sweetness, you still have that mass appeal. The other difference that I find is in the far dry down. This one, the Fragrance World, is a little more powdery than Invictus Victory Elixir. So even though in the opening I'd say these are just about as close as you can possibly get for a clone fragrance to be to an original, there's that slight change in the mid where this has that little undertone to it, that leather undertone that's going to differentiate it a little bit versus Victory Elixir. And then in the far dry down, this one's gonna be more powdery, so that's gonna be another differentiator. So, still yet, even though it has those little changes as it dries down, this is a great alternative to Victory Elixir. Absolutely lights out, smells awesome. That said, if you don't like Victory Elixir, you are not gonna like this, okay? There is not enough of a twist to change here to where you could say, well, I don't really like this, but this one changes things up in this way and it makes me like it more. No, this is one of those clones that's like pretty much trying to be the exact same as the fragrance that it's emulating. Smells, again, great, but I am a huge fan of Victory Elixir, so yeah, it's not really a surprise that I would like this one a ton. So as of right now, this is the only one of the new just releases that I've smelled. I'll try to get the other ones and cover those and let you know what those are clones of, whether they're good, bad, indifferent. This one, top notch. This is really, really well done. Oh, before I forget, as far as when you would use this, I mean, the exact same time as when you would use Victory Elixir. Almost goes without saying, but yeah, fall, winter time. Most people would probably say leans more toward evening use, but I just like to wear this in general. So, and just as big of a compliment puller as this one, because again, it's real close, really, really close. I've actually been wearing this today, all day, and it's goofy. It's really good. I don't know what the deal is, but like these Invictus alternatives here lately, there's been a lot of them. Victory Elixir, Legend, Aqua. So there we go. This one, Just As Rock, fan-freaking-tastic. Linked in the description below. So there we go, Just As Rock. That's what this is. It is this. Thank you guys for hanging with me. I just sprayed my hand. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.